Somewhere in Portugal, a mansion remains frozen in time. The cars still parked outside, as if they never left their art. Light, water, but no trace of the owners. We found a funeral notice. The name of the deceased matches the letters that keep arriving at this place. He passed away in 2015. Since then, it seems that no one has entered his room again. However, his wife's room shows no clear signs of abandonment. Until not long ago, she was still living here. Time is unforgiving, and the mansion's splendor reminds us that even the greatest things can fade into oblivion. Each drawer we open brings us closer to the truth. This mansion has more secrets than you think. Come discover them with me. Look at how abandoned it is. Here in the back, they even left a car. See the car? It's probably been here for many years to be in this condition. So eaten up. Look, it even has marks where a worm or something got to it. Let's see if it doesn't open. It's closed. And nature has eaten it completely. And look at the facade again, once more. This part here, I imagine, was for parking the car. But you can see that towards the end, it was already in very bad shape. And it's a good thing they left it outside, because otherwise it would have fallen on top of it. Look at the little backyard garden he had. And what a porch. Beautiful. All of this here is the barns and so on. And first, we're gonna go into the house. And look, they had a bathroom there, outside the house. A small bathroom, very humble, with just the basics. And now we can go inside. What is the house? And that's everything. It's a huge house. We'll start with these first rooms, specifically the kitchen, since it was a room. Look, there are still a ton of things left. They left practically everything and a bunch of Tupperware. The Tupperware. Probably because it was an elderly person and people cooked and stored food here. Because we've already seen, besides the wheelchair here, we've seen a bed. So it was set up for elderly people. Look at the fireplace. Well, the smoke extractor they had was huge. And there are still a lot of things left around here to see. 2022. It's been abandoned briefly, though it takes a while to expire. These things. And the sink to wash the beautiful dishes in my kitchen. I hadn't noticed the drain. I thought it was a countertop, but it's not for washing dishes. How beautiful. The door and wall are so blackened. Because they've been cooking here for so many years, you can tell this kitchen was used a lot. In the kitchen area, look at the wheelchair. Well, they left the fridge open and empty. They knew they were leaving without knowing when they'd return. Maybe they expected to come back soon, but the person likely passed away. They never came back. The amount of cobwebs around here and this part, I'm not really sure what it is. It's like an attic. We'll be able to reach this part of the attic later on from the main stairs, and we'll see it from there. This part, as you can see, has all these damp stains, and it's a bit saggy here. It sinks a little. This part is in pretty bad shape, and there must be a leak in the ceiling too. That's why the 2022 date surprises me. It's a short time for its condition. Just look, the white wall wasn't like this. That's mold on the wall. And let's keep going this way. And here, on the floor. This one, is it even scarier? There's already a hole here. This is the room I mentioned that's in bad shape. And there we can already see the living room. A bathroom here opens to the hallway. I assume they used a different one, since they likely had an adapted bathroom. Okay, look at the living room, it's beautiful. With a lot of things, an impressive amount. All of this, full of papers, bills, the owner's name, or... here we already have everything. To be able to look for information. Structurally, it's in bad shape. Humidity lets water in everywhere. This floor is also very warped. And look at the clock, it's full of mold too. These cabinets have so many little details. The cups are all neatly arranged. Here's a 2021 receipt. That's strange. But that in such a short time, it got so much worse. It was probably already pretty bad, before they abandoned it. And the clock is beautiful. How lucky that thieves haven't come yet to take these things. Look at the pendulum. Does it still have the pendulum? What is this? It's like a bowler hat, but in Los Angeles. Look, all the cutlery, even the cutlery. It's completely rusted, and as you can see, everything is full. It's amazing so much was left behind. Down there as well. We found the house at a good time, since it's likely one that goes quickly. Being looted, since there's so much. Look at this. How cool, how old. What a cool little plate. I'll give you a wide shot of the living room and then we'll go back out to the hallway. The hallway has a special charm around here. When we get to the stairs, the little terrace that Preciosa had here, and this is the living room area. There we skipped some rooms that are here. Look what I found in this room. He died in 2015, it's the same last name, and he passed away in 2015, so since 2015, I think that when he passed away, some kind of problem with the inheritance must have started, and they began to fight. And now this has been left in limbo. I've come to the cards with this, and look. The same name and everything. He owned the Balas de Fogueo house. Firing blanks, because they have a green tip, they have gunpowder, but they don't have a projectile. There are more cartridges here, so they were likely hunters. And the closet is full of clothes. This is what I like to find, another letter to the deceased's name. And the date is 2018, although he passed away in 2015, the date on this bill is 2018. This room might have been his. We'll learn more in the video. And here we have another one, right next to it, and they kept the Christmas tree. Under the bed is quite small. It has fewer personal items and less clothing than the other one. Well, maybe it could have been for the grandchildren when they came to visit or something, although I think a married couple lived here, because of what I've seen, which you'll also see. Look at the terrace I was telling you about, the little terrace they had here. It's beautiful. The only bad thing was the road was very close. Look at this detail here, the little chair. These would be your views, sitting here. It's surrounded by nature. It's beautiful. And with the forest back there, it's pure forest that we have behind us. Maybe that's also why they had blank bullets, to scare away any kind of animal that came close to them or something. And from here the stairs look beautiful. First let's see the lower part. Then we'll go upstairs, and finally we'll see all of this here that we haven't seen yet. So let's go to the lower part. And as soon as we go down, another wheelchair. Like every great Portuguese house, it has its own wine cellar. And look, they bottled their own wine. Here, they had it ready to put the cork in, and over here. They also had another room. It's really narrow. Look at how the bottles are stored. It's cool in this part. And they had put a stick underneath for them. I imagine it was so they would have the perfect curve, so they wouldn't go bad. Is this all? I thought it was a bit bigger. Check out this area. Once the El Vino cellar, and over here, a counter like in a store. So I imagine the customers would come in through here, through this door, and come up to the counter here so they could buy the wine. This part clearly stopped being used well before 2015. Let's go take a look, because look at what they have. They don't have any wine bottles or anything here anymore. It's on the other side of the bar, but right here in front they had this cabinet with wine bottles that I imagine they did have for sale. Let's take a look. And here are the corks, so they also corked bottles here and here. As soon as they walked in, customers would see all the wine barrels they had. The winery looked small, but was actually large. Look at what's here. For Lavagen de Basilm, I don't know what it is. Alkaline detergent, I think it's for cleaning the barrels. Between one harvest and another, they would have to clean them. Here they had the press. And all this part here is like vats. I imagine it was for crushing the grapes or something like that. I'm not sure. Everything is full of chemicals for the fields, and it also looks like for the grapes, so a bit of everything. But they also show you the grapes. So they were probably the chemicals they used for the vineyards. Here, the final product is already packaged and available from multiple brands, not just one. They might have bottled for different brands, not just their own wine. Maybe they didn't have a name, so to speak, but worked for other brands. Now we're going to go up to the top floor. We still need to check this area up here, which I think also has rooms. Then we'll head to the central halls, which are beautiful and detailed. Look at this cool little terrace. Another bathroom up here, so I guess, yes, they do have rooms. Oh, this part is really bad. It was expected to be this bad, but the floor sinks even more here. Little by little and carefully. We can go through. Just spread your weight and don't step with both feet close together. This is really complicated. They probably haven't used this part in a long time, because with the lower part, they would have used that one instead. It's also very tidy, like no one has lived here for a long time. Let's take a look at this room. Oh, beautiful. The furniture is beautiful, very nice, with the flowers there already wilted. They may have used this room in their final days. This corner is very nice, and it's all full of clothes. All of this, they must have taken it out from there, from the closet as well. The bed is beautiful, especially the carved headboard. Like in 3D. And here, in this little cabinet full of books, I imagine it's to read at night, to have them right there at hand. Ah, and the house continues over there, and I hadn't seen it before. They also have other stairs here that we'll use to go down later. And look how curious this is. That they had here. Like to hang clothes over the railing. I suppose they'd hang it here on rainy days. It also has ropes to hang clothes, and look how beautiful this place is. It's a beautiful place. It's a privilege to be surrounded by this nature. This part here, it's like they have a little office here in this area. Wow, look at this. How beautiful. And handmade. There are still some figures left and everything. I think this is for weaving, but I'm not sure. No idea. It sounds to me like it's for crocheting, but I'm not sure. There's another Christ there, and the handmade display case even has a bird on top. Beautiful. Look here on the table. These gadgets seem like they're for reading, to clean the barrel of the shotgun, because they're copper bristles. And they use this for the metal. And knowing he was a hunter, I think this was for Mirad, and he could make it bigger. To make it bigger, so it could reach all the way to the end. I would bet 100% that this is for cleaning the shotgun. The cap doesn't say anything, but I'm almost convinced of it. Okay, look at what I saw over there. Bright orange. They look like the clay targets used for skeet shooting. We'll go there and check them out. And all the shells that are here, these are loaded. Pizza, a lot. He has a lot of shells. Look at all these nuts. They're moldy and rotten with a lot of worm larvae around there. I don't know if you can see them. Look at the plates. They really do look like those Fatu Porto. It's just that I've never seen one before, but they really look like it. They're made of porcelain, so I'd swear that's what they're for clay pigeon shooting. And there weren't just a few in the library they had here, but I don't understand why they made this part, so to speak, like a leisure area up here. If it's hot in the summer, here it's even worse because you're right next to the roof and it gets really, really hot. This area isn't usually used much, just for storing things and so on, for the same reason, because it's really hot in this part. They also used to hang things here. And look, it seems as good as new. It's been preserved pretty well in here. Look at all the little books they had for the Mass. As if they handed them out. They were very religious. They were part of the church. They were collaborators with the local church, surely. And that's why the Christs, they would make handmade Christ for them, or something like that. We've seen everything here, so let's go downstairs and I'll show you more of this beautiful house. Let's head down these stairs. This house is huge with lots of stairs, so let's try to take them all. From here you can see the paintings and the staircase better. Look at the ceiling, it's falling apart. And over here, we're done. If I'm not mistaken, to a classroom. And look at this. Wow, impressive. Look at the ceiling. The paintings on the walls. It's very beautiful. This part we've saved the best for last. This part is also full of things. Everything is in its place. Every drawer I open is full of things. Look, more Christmas decorations. We saw the tree earlier, and there were more decorations over there. And the chairs they had, beautiful with engravings. Look at the paintings. We didn't expect to find them when we entered this house. Because at first it didn't seem like it was going to be this style, but it has surprised us in a very good way. And from here we can access one of the rooms and check out the room of the man we saw who passed away. In 2015, it's so well preserved. Now we're going to go to that part. And here is the taka-taka. Look at this part. I mean, he couldn't do anything by himself anymore in the end. What a shame. And there with the diapers. He probably had a caregiver with him 24 hours a day, because he probably needed it. He had this here to raise the back of the bed, since it would be difficult for him otherwise. Since I'm already old, I realized the house was neglected recently, which explains why it's become so run down so quickly. 2022 was the latest date found, though he died in 2015. The heirs have likely been here, now handling inheritance issues, and this place will probably end up ruined. Once things are settled, they likely won't afford to restore the entire house, since the roof is literally collapsing. I can see it from here, and I just saw the huge safe that was here, which looks like they broke it open, but they broke it open a long time ago. It's even rusted on the inside. Maybe even the heirs did it. And in here, look, more cartridges. I think they opened this safe themselves. And there's a piece of paper left there. I don't know if you can see it. I'll try to take it out. Pardon? Very small. No idea what this is, but well, I'll look it up to see if it's something interesting, and we'll put it back. Where was it? This closet too, since it's not full of clothes. Even the drawers at the bottom are full. And over here there are more diapers. What a shame to end your last days like this. Look at the details here. But what stands out the most are all the jewelry boxes. They're open. There are a lot of them lying here, and there's nothing inside. Look at the bed instructions. And the passport. And this is the man who passed away. We don't even know if he died in this same bed. What we do know is that he died in 2015. A few years later, his house was abandoned. Let's leave this room now and go to another one of the rooms. This is the room where we couldn't get out through here because they had put this little room here that had this Dutch banner. How curious. They were likely going on a trip. And look at the detail of the phone. It's a phone for seniors. Who would have put it there? He probably already had the numbers memorized to call quickly and with the buttons really big. And this is also one of the main living rooms. Beautiful. The most beautiful in the house. I might record the whole living room for you to see. It's beautiful. It's full of details. That part over there, I'm not sure if it's a room or what it is. Okay, yes, it's another room now. We'll go see it later, but let's check out everything around here first. Because look at the owls that they had stuffed here. Amazing. And here he had another one, or a barn owl, but it looks like he even had the bones. Look at the feathers. It has the wire here, but all of this here looks like little bones. And here is a huge head. This one looks like they didn't do it very well. Honestly, it's not very well done, but look at the eyes. And the teeth? It's also very deteriorated because it's missing all the hair, so that's why it looks like it's not very well made. And this one, I'm not really sure where it would go in this room. But it's a beautiful place with this vintage armchair here. All the walls. Love this style of houses. They're so beautiful. And here are a lot of photographs. I thought there were a lot of photographs, but I just noticed this. And it's probably that the heirs took them all. Everything looks ripped out, you see? I doubt anyone else did it. It must have been the heirs. Here we have a postcard of a castle. How curious. Well, I'm glad they did that and didn't leave photos at least, even though they know they won't be able to save the house anymore. That they saved the photos and the memories. Although they've left several really cool portraits around here. Like this one here, look. With the little boy in his arms. A very beautiful image. It's a shame they didn't save this, as it's a beautiful image. And from here, we're going to move on to the last room, and this one is by far the best preserved. The dressing room. This might have been his wife's room. In the end, her husband ended up sleeping in the other room because of health issues, and she lived in this part because it's a dressing room. Look. She even has a little chair here to sit in front of the dressing table. And this room is super clean compared to the rest of the house. What about the slipper detail? Just relaxing at home in a bathrobe. This cushion reminds me of what we saw before. She probably made it with those crocheting gadgets I mentioned. Look at the rest of the room. This part is pretty messy, and it looks like the closet was broken with the door. The closet is lying here. It either broke from the weight or something was left open. I'm not sure. Look at the bathroom I skipped. But that's not all, because back here we have a huge living room that I hadn't noticed. The door was closed and I didn't even realize it. Look, maybe I overlooked it. And look up how amazing the beautiful tapestry with the cats catching the fish from the fish tank. And this minibar? Totally full. Those bottles show how brutal the humidity is here. Look, what's inside the bar are boxes with clay pigeon targets, like the ones we saw upstairs. There are a lot more here. Look at these beers. They don't seem old, but the scratches between them show they've been here a while. Good thing I didn't overlook this room, because it's another beautiful corner of the house, especially with the bar counter and the tapestry. And here I saw that they even had cookies. Cookies, and this Nesquik, and the Nesquik. The expiration date is 2024. It's confusing. I know Nesquik takes years to expire. Honestly, a lot of things just don't add up for me. We were about to leave, and look. We have power throughout the whole house. Something we completely overlooked, and this really gives us a bad feeling. I'm going to the bathroom to see if we also have water. The final test. And yes, we do have water. So I don't understand. I understand this house less and less. So anyway, let's get going. And I hope you liked the video, and if you did, give it a like, and I'll see you at the next place. See you next time.